Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfanine. I want to begin here today with a topic that I've covered lightly a few times. We're going to go deep today. I think it's time. So yesterday we covered debt. There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle. You have to pay attention. Follow the clues, follow the dots that are connecting. You have to operate with a visionary mind. If you're looking at big picture stuff, short picture stuff, short-term things, small picture stuff, that's easy. It's the long term, that big money, the tsunami. That's where things can get a little bit murky. But if you are seeing with your wisdom eye, you will see where all of this is going. Now, there's chapters in the video if you want to jump around. We're dealing with some hefty information lately. I know, don't worry, we'll get back to the regular style videos soon enough. So let's begin here. I want to talk about the tokenization of oil. I want to talk about the backing of currencies with oil, or any commodity for that matter. But we're going to specifically be on oil and gas today. This is going to be huge. I have an article here. This is on blog.stowbox.io. The article is titled, "How the Oil and Gas Sector Can Benefit from Tokenization." We've been talking about this, but we had derived our original ideas from what the BRICS nations were saying. The BRICS nations were saying they wanted their assets, they wanted their digital assets, they wanted their currencies to be backed by commodities. At that time, I know I'm reiterating something, but we have a lot of new people here anyway, so this is good information. You can look up for yourself. At that time, they did not specify gold. Now, I know recently we saw activity from Russia where they're backing their assets. They're beginning the process of backing certain digital assets with gold. They have begun. Who knows how far that's going to go? We got to keep our eye on that and just stay updated. But it has begun. That's a fact. But in their original statements, they never specified gold. They said commodities. Now, why am I going down this line of thinking? Because you can back assets with anything. Why would I, if I'm a country in Latin America, why would I, if I'm a country in Africa that is bounteous in oil, why would I then back my currency in gold? I wouldn't. I don't need to go to someone else to buy gold when I'm sitting on black gold, oil. Ah, smell the oil money. That's sweet, sweet oil money. Now, I say all that to build up to where we're going to begin here, okay? I hope you're still with me. Oh, I feel like I'm giving you some good stuff lately. Potent information. Keep this stuff in mind for the future. Long term, big picture, visionary type stuff. Here's the article, all right? And it goes as such: how the oil and gas sector can benefit from tokenization. Now, who's saying this? It says, according to the World Economic Forum. They seem to have their hand in everything. Interesting. According to the World Economic Forum, oil and gas tokenization can increase the liquidity. Liquidity. I'm telling you, better know what you hold. You better know what you hold. It's all about liquidity. Put the dots together. Can increase the liquidity of the markets by $1.6 trillion. 1.6 trillion. That's big money, people. This is the big money game. That's why so many different projects they're kept quiet. So many different agendas are kept quiet. They let you hear about all the little money. And let me tell you something right now. Millions and billions, that's little money. I'm telling you, you see it yourself when we're talking about assets that can potentially, no guarantee, move trillions. No, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want the people to know. The greatest transfer of a wealth of all time, this is not a joke, has the potential of occurring at some point in the near future. That's why I don't worry about the little floods that are coming. The pop that's going to happen when we defeat the SEC. That's cute and that's good. People are going to take some profit. A lot of people are going to leave. They're done for. I get it. I understand. You made a few million, you're good to go. I get it. But that long term, oh my goodness, oh my word. You got to think about that. Those trillions. That won't have been fulfilled at that time of the ending of the case. That won't have been fulfilled. The future is beyond bright. But let's keep going here. I'm getting a little fired up. I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling good out there. Trying to give you some potent information. Now, let's continue on. It says it can increase the liquidity of the markets by $1.6 trillion and the total market size by $2.5 trillion. So when we say trillions in the title, it is not an exaggeration. But I'm going to connect the dots. Don't worry. I'm going to show you that they're setting everything up. I'm going to give it to you so you can have the documents yourself, the web pages yourself, download them, screenshot them. Do your own research. Look into it. Question everything. I want you to look up everything that I say. Free your mind. Know for yourself. Make your own decisions. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't want to be. Oh, it's so good to be a researcher right now. It says, and the total market size by $2.5 trillion. Companies from the oil sector can receive an additional $1 trillion. This is the type of money we're talking about. When we're talking about the tokenization of everything, the tokenization of debt, the tokenization of oil, gas, the backing of currencies with oil and gas. Let's go to this next article here. This article is from unlock-bc.com, okay? And it is titled, "The benefits of tokenizing the oil and gas sector are massive." Massive. Who do you think is going to be the leaders of that? Well, I'm going to show you why I believe XRP is going to be at the front of it. I'm going to show you why I believe Algorand. We have chapters. If you want to jump to there, you could. But don't miss out on this information. You're going to want to know. Let's go. Let's continue on here. The benefits of tokenizing the oil and gas sector are massive. Let's scroll down here. And it goes as such. In a recent article in Oil and Gas Magazine, Mohammed El-Masri discusses how tokenization can improve the oil and gas sector. As he states, the oil and gas sector is one of the world's most complex sectors. It has extensive supply lines that crisscross borders and jurisdictions. It pulls in expertise from an exceptional range of disciplines, including geology, chemistry, mathematics, technology, trading, marketing, and logistics. And virtually every industry in the world relies on its products. The levels of paperwork, we can remedy all of this. But don't worry, we'll get there. The levels of paperwork involved in a contract for a barrel of oil or volume of gas are significant. You know we can remedy that. The easeability of moving information back and forth for us is nothing. That's nothing for us to do. But let's continue on. And the security, we have top-notch security. Some of our bank coins have military-grade security. XDC, I'm looking at you. It says here, are significant, and the holdups at any stage of the process have knock-on effects all the way up and down the supply chain. The problem is that the complexity adds cost. They all want to use us to save money. I'm telling you, this could be big. I'm not going to say it's going to be. There's no guarantees, but this is going to be big. It already has begun. The problem is that the complexity adds cost to the oil and gas sector, which is unwelcome at a time when investors, governments, and consumers are starting to have the option to support increasingly viable alternatives. So they need to get a leg up on the competition with all the green energy stuff that's going on. Don't worry, they're not going anywhere. With all that carbon recapture and pulling carbon out of the atmosphere, they're going to get in on that too. So what they'll do is they'll continue to use the oil and gas, but they'll come up with these solutions where they can remove carbon. Allegedly, this is what they say. They can remove carbon from the atmosphere. That's going to be big money as well. And that's going to be tokenized as well. They can pull the wool over a lot of people's eyes. You can't fool me. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I see what's going on, but let's continue on here. We don't have any time to waste today because I want to get this information to you. He states that smart contracts. You see all the work that XRPL has been doing with smart contracts. You see what Stellar's been doing? Why? Don't worry, I'm going to show you. He states that the smart contracts are also known as tokenization, potentially offer an opportunity to reduce, I just said this, reduce, and I didn't read this beforehand. I just read the title. That's all I need. I know I can smell good information when I get it. It says offer an opportunity to reduce complexity and bureaucracy and enhance transparency and speed across the natural resources sector. No one does it better than us. XRP and Algorand are going to be major when it comes to this. Mark my words, and maybe I'm wrong. I could be. I don't think that I am. This poses an opportunity to significantly bring down costs. By utilizing tokenization, he believes the oil and gas sector can benefit from reduced complexity and bureaucracy. Let's scroll down here. There are several ways that a tokenized approach enhances oil and gas trading in real terms. Primarily, it would create a trustworthy primary market for issuing natural asset security tokens. This would augment the natural resources investment environment and attract sustainable private capital without adding to back office costs. I told you it was going to, I said this the other day. We were talking about that last video, which was a potent one about the tokenization of debt. If you ain't watched that last video, make sure to give that a watch. Oh, there's been some good information in these last few videos. But it brings in capital that wasn't available to play with before. We all are seeing it. All the big industry people we're seeing, all the visionaries are seeing this and saying, wait a minute, there's a lot of capital on the table. And these distributed ledger technology is about to scrape this capital up. Now, who's at the top? Who's going to survive in this current crypto apocalypse? Think about that. Who's trusted by governments? Think about that. Who's trusted by central banks? Think about that. Who has the most experience and the most partnerships? Think about that. Yeah, right. It's good to be a bank coin holder, is it not? Let's continue on here. I'm giving you facts from some of the biggest names in industry we've been covering lately, speaking on certain things. Let's continue on here. Investors of all sizes. That's what they want. They want money from the top and the bottom. Remember, for a long time, they were only able to get big money from the top. Now they can scrape all the money from the bottom, the middle, and the top. Imagine that. That's what all these industries are looking at. The banks, the governments, well, they're selling these bonds and stuff like that. Like that's the time they borrow money. The governments, all the big industries are looking to scrape money from the top and the bottom, money they couldn't play with before. That's huge. And that will move that price if it does indeed occur. Let's continue on here. This would help oil and gas firms. Wait, where did we leave off here? Okay. Investors of all sizes could find projects that they wanted to support and hold or trade tokens according to their investment strategies. This would help oil and gas firms have a more direct relationship. They've desired that for a long time. A more direct relationship with their investors and understand the best strategies to keep projects moving forward. Well, that's another thing that's going to be very tempting for them. is all the information that they'll be able to grab. You know, different offerings will provide specialized services like the GRT. We dealt with GRT before. They're like the Google of the blockchains, collecting certain information. You don't have to have the identity attached or all of that. You just need raw information so you can be able to make decisions. Now, with that information that they're going to be able to provide and then the traceability of everything, imagine what they're going to be able to do when it comes to strategy. Having more information, and it's not always having more information, but having the right information goes a long way when it comes to strategizing. Well, for those who want to actually put in the work, information can be the greatest power. Let's continue on here. Tokens will offer a more efficient natural gas resource trading environment with near real-time blockchain enabled tracking system. And we can, well, they're claiming that we can offer instant settlement now. So it definitely is real time if that is indeed accurate. But let's continue on here. It says enable with a near real-time blockchain enabled tracking system. That's another thing. We covered this before in another video. The ability, at least when it comes to crude oil, the ability to trace those barrels and to have the systems that are already instituted to have those amounts that are coming through those pipes, that data accessible on the spot. That's going to keep all of those thieves from stealing all that. We covered this before. They were stealing so many billions of dollars of oil. And yet the companies allegedly didn't know. Allegedly, this is what they say. They were building pipelines and cutting holes into active pipelines, right? And siphoning oil off. And then apparently nobody knows where that oil went. Come on now. You make up your own mind about that. But now that won't be able to happen. Let's see, I'm moving 300 gallons here. And then all of a sudden I see it just even if it's a second, I see it drop 250. I know something's wrong. And DLTs, distributed ledger technologies, can allow me to access information like that, even if I'm across the world, even if you're on the rig, wherever you're going to be in the desert rig, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, instantly, I have that information and I'm telling somebody, hey, get on top of that. We have a problem. We're saving billions of dollars, but that value by being tokenized is moving across some distributed ledger technology if this does indeed occur. Let's continue on here. We're only on the second article. Oh, we're cooking today. Oh, yeah, we're feeling real good. We're winning a lot. Feeling great as Bankcoin holders. In my humble opinion, that's how I'm feeling. I'm assuming you feel the same, right? Now, this is an article from yahoo.com. And it's titled, How the Launch of Oil-Backed Cryptocurrencies Could Change the Market. You don't say. You see, the time is almost near for things like this. So don't worry. There were a lot of early iterations, but that wasn't the time. None of the DLT networks were fully set up. You don't have this web of DLTs and anchors across the world then like you do now. But let's read this little tidbit here. Now is coming close to being the time where the governments are in deep with the DLTs and their CBDCs. The central banks are in deep with the digital currencies. There's all of these offerings. They've been tested. Now is coming where everything is almost, I won't say it's ready, but it's almost ready to have that switch be flipped, so to speak. It says, what is oil-backed cryptocurrency? This is from Yahoo, okay? It says, so what exactly is an oil-backed cryptocurrency? An oil-backed cryptocurrency is one that is backed by the tangible asset of oil and sometimes gas reserves. So you can do both. This means essentially tokenizing barrels of oil held in reserve to give increased credibility and price stability to the cryptocurrency. They're pegging it to the value of the oil, like I've been saying for so long. Now you're seeing the proof that this is an idea that's out there. This is an idea that actually has been tested already to minute degrees. But in the future, it's going to be major, especially because of the BRICS nations. Let's continue on here. The oil backing the currency is meant to counter volatility, to stabilize everything. But where will it stabilize? It was stabilized necessarily at a high price. It's oil, for crying out loud. The value and volume. Oh my goodness, my word. Which is a common characteristic of most cryptocurrencies. It's a niche worth trillions of dollars. They're telling you themselves. It's not just me saying it. Let me read it again. It's a niche worth Trillions of dollars. Do you think that XRP and XLM and Algorand, who made easeability of issuing assets on their chain, think they did that for no reason, that you could issue any asset on chain? You think they did that for a reason? You don't think that you did that for no reason? I mean, the smart contracts, making sure they're continuously leveling up their smart contracts, the military grade security, things of that nature. Come on now, they're getting ready for the big money. They're not getting ready for tiny money and tiny value to be flowing across these different top-notch offerings. No, it's a niche worth trillions of dollars. Crude oil is the most exported product in the world. In 2017, crude oil shipments were worth $841 billion. Just 1 year after the market collapse of 2016, $841 billion after the market collapse. The market is pretty stable right now. Currently, OPEC, state members, and Russia are planning a blockchain-based cryptocurrency platform. Do you see how they put all that together? This is the same way. See, this is the same way that bank coin holders should be thinking. Put it all together. But I'm going to show you. Don't worry. We got a lot more coming in this video. By the way, if you enjoy any part of this video, please click that like button. It helps the video tremendously. And it supports me so that I know that you enjoy these videos and to do more deep research, right? It says, this is meant to disrupt the current oil trade and provide exporters with more benefits. Let me read that again. Currently, OPEC, Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, state members, and Russia are planning a blockchain-based cryptocurrency platform. This is meant to disrupt the current. So this is apart from everything else they have going on. OK, and we have to get an update on this. It says are planning a blockchain-based cryptocurrency platform. This is meant to disrupt the current oil trade and provide exporters with more benefits. You think they haven't moved forward with this? Of course they have. But these are things where you got to keep it quiet. Shh. If they were to make announcements about this and people were to put out their partnerships on things like this, first of all, you can pay money to make sure writers don't write on certain topics. That's number one. And the writers are going to take that money. All right. But number two, it would cause FOMO out of this world. This is why a lot of the bank coins will be operating behind the scenes. You won't need to know that XRP is being used. They won't need to know that XLM or Algorand is being used. It'll function just like a part in the engine of a car. The people just need to drive the car. They don't need to know about all the parts in the engine. It just works. That's all they know. It just works. And they're keeping it quiet. Shh. All right, now. Let's move on to this next little piece here. So, of course, then I'm going to ask a logical question, which I did, which is, how much is the oil industry worth worldwide? And here on ibisworld.com, it says the market size measured by revenue of the global oil and gas exploration and production industry is $4.3 trillion in 2023. This is what they're estimating. This was from March 30th, 2022. So this is what their estimation is. $4.3 trillion it'll be worth in 2023. 4.3 trillion. Let's move on to another little piece of information here. So keep that in mind. Trillions. Keep that in mind. This is in addition to interbank payments. This is in addition to wholesale CBDCs that any of these bank coins might act as a bridge currency to. This is in addition to providing liquidity, whether it's instant liquidity or on-demand liquidity, doesn't matter. This is in addition to all of that. But I do believe that this happens a little slower. I believe these industries are very complicated, so their infrastructures are going to be a little bit more complicated. But I'm going to read you about a bunch of different little headlines just to show you that behind the scenes, in my humble opinion, behind the scenes, the bank coins have been setting themselves up heavily in the oil regions for the advent of the tokenization of the mass tokenization of oil, gas, the possibility, there's no guarantees, all right? The possibility of the backing of currencies with oil or gas. They're getting ready. So Ripple in the MENA region. Let's just read a couple of headlines here. Ripple continues to build momentum in the MENA region with first on-demand liquidity deployment in the Middle East. That's one article. This is from 3 days ago. This next article, interview, Ripple bullish on MENA expansion to cash. Ripple is engaging with policymakers and regulators across the MENA region. MENA region. When I hear MENA, all I see is a beautiful rain of money, oil money. The MENA region is heavy in oil and gas. But you should already know that. Oh, yeah, it's a good day today. Oh, yeah. All right. 2 days ago. So these articles have been out here. Have you been seeing them? This is 2 days ago. So that one we just read was 3 days ago. This headline's from 2 days ago. XRP prime for rally as Ripple is bullish on. This is Ripple's managing director for South Asia and MENA said that on-demand liquidity is available in markets representing nearly 90%. Let's actually click on that, actually, so we can read a little bit more than just the headline, because now they have me interested. I didn't see this article. I just saw the headline. Let's scroll down here. Bear with me a moment. It says, Ripple is expanding adoption of on-demand liquidity. However, another reason to be bullish is the XRP-based on-demand liquidity technology by Ripple, which continues to be adopted heavily beyond the U.S. In an interview with Naveen Gupta, all right, so we have a name now, Ripple's managing director for South Asia and MENA said on-demand liquidity is available in markets representing nearly 90%. 90% of the $6 trillion daily foreign exchange market. Gupta further remarked that there is a lot of interest in XRP-based technology in the Middle East and North Africa. That's the MENA region, baby. Show me the money. We're winning too much. Oh, it feels good to be a winner, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We haven't even begun to really dominate. We just been crushing all the competition, crushing everywhere. Let me just shake my collar real quick. Yeah. Little shimmy shake. Yeah. Yeah. I feel real good. They're deep in the MENA region. Even as of the last few weeks, they've been constantly reporting on activities in the MENA region where all the majority of the oil money is made. Let's continue on here. Let's go back. Let's go back here. Okay, I'm just giving you proof that they're deep there. They're not the only ones. Don't worry. We have more. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. This is 2 days ago as well. This is from fxstreet.com. Ripple partners drive adoption Southeast Asia and MENA region. Okay, so I think that's a little similar to the other one. July 25th, 2022, Ripple signs Middle East largest bank to promote utility. Remember, we covered that. QNB Group, the biggest bank in Qatar. We covered QNB. We covered Attajari Wafa. We cover Attajari Wafa, Morocco, and we cover Attajari Wafa, Europe. And those subsidiaries are going to be key. Oh my goodness. I could smell the money already. I really could. You don't have to share my enthusiasm at all. I'm not here to control your mind or anything like that. I'm just sharing a little bit of my enthusiasm with this research. Let's continue on here. Oh, well, there's another one here. Another little article here about the MENA region. They're deep in there. Why? You have to put the puzzle together. They're there for that oil money. Don't worry. It's Ripple. It's XRP. They're going to take the bank money. But we also want that oil money. Trillions are on the table. Trillions. You heard the world. The article in the beginning, we covered the World Economic Forum. Told you trillions. Trillions. Yahoo. Then we read the article from Yahoo. Said what? The same thing. Trillions. It's unbelievable. We're providing research here. You know what's crazy? Most people still won't believe. They still won't believe. I can't make them. It is what it is. Ripple and Pipple. Remember Pipple? Debut new first in market service in the Middle East. MENA continues to be a critical region for Ripple. Critical region for Ripple. Why? Why? Because they understand what's coming with the tokenization of everything. They know. They know. Let's continue on here. I want to show you something else. Algorand is deep in so many regions where they're heavy in oil. They're deep in Africa. They're deep in the MENA region. They're deep in Latin America. And oh yeah, man, we're pumping out oil as well. Exclusive interview. Algorand interim CEO Sean Ford. Plans in the MENA region. Let's actually see if I pulled up that article here. Here we are. Yep, here we are. This is on cryptoslate.com. This is with the Algorand interim CEO Sean Ford at the time. It says here, plans in the MENA region. Oh, it just seems like everybody's getting deep in the MENA region. Oh, and don't forget, Algorand outright is in the MENA region, but also Algorand's making moves via koi banks in Africa. Oh yeah, I see you, Africa. Oh yeah, I see what you're doing over there. Yeah, you're trying to take off. Oh yeah, Alpha Neem's gonna have a little bit of money from everywhere. I'm taking money from everywhere, but we're all gonna rise at the same time. We're all gonna rise at the same time. New 1%, just like Kai always says in the comment section. New 1%. That's not an exaggeration. But let's read this little tidbit here. Plans in the MENA region. Algorand has established a notable presence in Latin America. I was just saying that, didn't I? And Europe. Italy, where its Turing Award-winning founder Silvio Macali is from. Now the team is setting its sights on the up-and-coming MENA region. So now you have Ripple saying it's critical for them to be in the MENA region. And you have Algorand saying we've set our sights on the MENA region. One puzzle piece here, one puzzle piece here. We're starting to get a clear picture, aren't we? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Let's keep going. Look, when I talk about money and we're dealing with this big money, oh, I get very excited. Oh, yeah. Says now the team is setting its sights on the up and coming MENA region. Already active in Nigeria, and we know they've done much more as of now. This article takes place a little time ago, I believe. Says already active in Nigeria, where the government is building a countrywide intellectual property wallet with its tech. Algorand, which we need to get an update on, by the way. Algorand is looking to establish a foothold in the Middle East, hence holding the cipher in the United Arab Emirates. Are you seeing where this is heading? Most bustling destination. Quote, here's a quote. We selected this region because we saw a great opportunity. What do you think that opportunity is? Where does most of the money and value come from in the United Arab Emirates, in the MENA region? What's one of their most bounteous natural resources? Okay, so then let's go back around again. What is the opportunity there? Right, a lot of that value and worth over there is tied to oil. Oil makes me lots of money. I'm sorry, I took the little Chia song and I do that with a lot of songs. I just insert words and stuff like that, just freestyle it. But that's, in my humble opinion, that's the opportunity there. All right, let's continue on here. It says, we know this region is disciplined. They definitely are. And focused on the quality of project. And we felt a good overlap between what we brought to the table and the UAE's ambition for Dubai to be the first global city powered by blockchain technology. So they want to run everything. I like that attitude, Algorand. I like it. Continue forward. Proceed. Proceed, because you've been doing a great job. Let's go to this next little tidbit of information right here. Okay. Let's see. What do I have here? This is an article on gulftimes.com. Gulf-times.com. It's titled, Why the United Arab Emirates Businesses Need to Move on Blockchain. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says the new generation of blockchain is upon us. Fortunately for businesses, the new generation of blockchain is already upon us. Algorand, they're naming names and dropping names. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Algorand, which runs on a more decentralized, secure, and scalable version of proof of stake, is enabling businesses to build sustainability across different verticals, from cross-border payments to healthcare to gaming and entertainment to government interactions. Holy smokes, they just telling you Haven't I been saying that Algorand is dominating in every possible way? You're having Gulf Times is telling you this now. The list is almost too long. We just keep winning. And for anyone to think Algorand's price is not going to take off in the future, and there will be immediate bull run pop as soon as a bull run happens or regulatory clarity happens, you're going to have that little pop. Sure, that's going to be cute. And a lot of people are going to make a lot of money. They definitely are. In my humble opinion, it's not financial advice. But the future is where that tsunami comes in. And I think most people will be caught unaware. And they'll already be long gone by that time. I really do. I believe that firmly. And it's up to them. You have to do what's best for you. I'm not saying for you to change your plans or nothing like that. I'm not trying to give you advice at all. I respect what anyone wants to do. I'm just making an observation. I think most people will be gone before that tsunami comes. But I believe that the tsunami is coming because of things like this. So let's go here. Let's continue here. From cross-border payments to healthcare to gaming and entertainment to government interactions. Not only is POS green by definition, but Algorand is also the world's first carbon negative blockchain. Look how good they're talking about Algorand. Offsetting is minimal carbon emissions through a partnership with Climate Trade. That was major, by the way. Oh, yeah. That was a good little ace in the pocket. The Algorand ecosystem is growing fast, particularly in the MENA region. You have Gulf Times telling you this, so it's a reputable source. Let's continue on here. Particularly in the MENA region. Why particularly? Why are Ripple and Algorand so deep in the MENA region? And don't think we forgot about Hedera. Remember when Hedera had the meeting with the royals? Do you remember that? They took the picture? Do you remember they were strutting their stuff? They were popping their collar. Do you remember? You can find it right on their Twitter. Why is everyone getting deep in the MENA region? How does it benefit them in the chains? Ain't right. You starting to see the picture? I know you are. I know you guys are great. But there's a lot of new people on the channel, and they may not know this information. But I know everybody that's been here for a while, you're a great detective by now. And a lot of you are amazing researchers as of now. So I know you see the picture. Let's keep going here, man. I'm having a little bit of fun. I'm feeling good. This is insane, amazing. The world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain is also the first and only to be selected by FIFA. So now they're just running through the accolades. They're letting people know this is why we're going to be getting in deep with Algorand and why we want Algorand here. It says, closing thoughts. With challenging issues facing humanity today, from the cost of living to certain crises, United Arab Emirates businesses need to move on blockchain to scale sustainability and cost effectiveness. In other words, they want to save money. They need security. They need everything to be that much more efficient, and Algorand can offer it. Algorand's world-leading platform, with its ease of use and low barriers to entry, provides the perfect solution for new and established businesses to successfully navigate the future economy. The tokenization of oil is going to go a long way with that, don't you think? The tokenization of gas, the tokenization of gold. I mean, in every possible way. Offerings like Ripple and Algorand are going to dominate. But I think, in my humble opinion, that tokenization of oil is going to be massive. And I think that's one of the things they're setting their sights on. Why are they not in any other regions? They're all of them. Ripple, Algorand, Stellar, Hedera. Oh, you just happen to be in all the regions that are heavy in oil. And also, you just happen to be heavy in all the regions that are mining more gold than ever. Interesting. I don't believe in coincidences. For every effect, there is a cause, a reasonable cause. Right. Let's continue on here, right? So then, do we really need to talk about volume? This is from Statista.com, right? I wanted to look up a little bit of information about oil. Actually, let me click this tab here and see if it has a little bit more, because I wanted to give you some raw information. Just bear with me for a moment, please. Okay, so I wanted to show you how much money in oil is coming out of Latin America. Just bear with me for one moment. I'm trying to make sure I have all of this information. It gets a little confusing when you have so much information up. Oil industry is from Statista.com. They do a great job over there. This is titled Oil Industry in Latin America. It says, despite playing an important role in the global market and economy of countries like Brazil, we're deep in Brazil. We're deep in Brazil. Mexico, we're deep in Mexico. Are you starting to see? They're choosing all these areas deep in oil. and Venezuela, the oil industry in Latin America has seen better days. The region is home to nearly 1/5 of global oil reserves, ranking only behind the Middle East in terms of volume. So the volume is unbelievable. Let's scroll down here, right? And this is where I really wanted to go. Major players. So we all know that Petrobras is a major player there. This is net revenue of Petrobras, $83.97 billion US dollars. $83.97 billion. Okay, let's go right below them. This is from Pemex. Net sales of Pemex, $72.7 billion US dollars. Let's go here. Ecopetrol, right? I think that they're in Colombia. 92.2 trillion COP. Yeah, they're Colombia, COP. So they're Colombia. That's a lot of money. That's not taking into account the volume. So let's say we provide traceability for them. All of that oil, all that gas having to be tracked. That's constant volume. Utilizing smart contracts, that's constant volume. Then if they use automated market makers, if they have the closed ecosystem, if they have any type of governance, then you have governance, then you have to hold some of this particular protocol to participate in governance. I mean, the future is bright. Think about all of that. That's unbelievable potentiality. It's my humble opinion. Let me know in the comment section if you feel different. I'm always open to learn. I'm not here to just shove information down your throat. No, I'm here to put the information on your table and say, hey, this is some stuff you may want to look at and research yourself and come to your own conclusion. And I'm the same way. A lot of my people here, they put information on the table for me to look at. And don't forget, and just so everyone knows, I didn't forget, I have a lot of requests to honor. And I've been getting through them, but I have some new requests. I haven't forgotten. Just bear with me as I'm doing a lot of research. I got a lot of projects going on right now, but people see I have been getting to the requests. And I will be divulging information on the different things that I have been asked to look into very soon. I haven't forgotten about anything. Okay, so now let's go here. So just to give you an idea that this has already been tried, but listen, I believe a lot of projects that already have been tried and they failed, I believe that we will pick up, well, not even pick up where they left off, but I think the bank coins, as I always have said, will step in and take over these projects that died on Ethereum, and we can give them new life. Just like Algorand was trying to help Ethereum when Ethereum was struggling. Remember that? Because we have the technology to do so. We are the most advanced. Algorand, XRP, XDC, Stellar. We are the most advanced right now. So just to give you an example, this is an article on jeffreycan.com. And it's titled, "Will a Venezuelan oil-backed cryptocurrency actually work?" It says, first, a bit of context. For those of you not that well versed in oil markets, Venezuela has historically seen a serious, has been a serious oil player. They're a founding member of OPEC. And the country is blessed with huge oil reserves. Venezuela has some 300 billion barrels of oil it could produce. Now, keep in mind, remember the United States was going to be asking that. Well, I don't know if they actually did or not, but remember they were considering asking Venezuela, even though I believe that United States and Venezuela haven't had such a great relationship. Am I correct on that? I don't know. You guys can fill me in. But I remember that I believe that United States was going to ask Venezuela for some oil back when the United States was having a few oil issues. Remember that? So this was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. But if these countries are, well, first of all, OPEC, I believe, has some issues with the West right now, right? I believe the West requested some oil from OPEC. OPEC said, look, we're not going to turn up volume right now. We're going to keep it the same. The West wasn't happy about that. Look, to interface with each other, they're going to need a bridge system, agnostic bridge currency, a neutral system for that money to move back and forth. And if we ever had to do business together, right, for that value to be moved back and forth, information to be moved back and forth through a neutral party, that would be something like RippleNet, XRPL, whatever you want, however you want to say that. Algorand, Stellar, any of these bank coins, Hedera could do it. Hedera is always remember that Hashgraph is far superior to blockchain. Just keep that in mind as well. Even though they're all distributed ledger technologies and they're all bank coins. I just want to put that out there. But let's continue on here. It says, my goodness, the Orinoco Belt has additional reserves of 1.5 trillion barrels. Now let's scroll down here. It says here, sovereign independence. A cryptocurrency could be set up independently of existing national governments and currency issuing authorities, including the US and the Venezuelan governments. This frees the currency from government actions like adding to money supply by quantitative easing that causes devaluation, imposing exchange limitations and mandating specific exchange rate valuations. Let's scroll down a little bit more here. Physical backing. It says, in the case of Venezuela, Maduro has offered to back Petro, which would be their currency if they were to have this currency where it's backed by oil. I'm just trying to show you that it already was attempted. I'm telling you, these are like prototypes. What we're going to do is going to be much more advanced and far superior to anything that anyone else has ever done before. We don't have any limitations on us, by the way. So it's better for it to come from the NBFIs, non-banking financial institutions, the fintechs, than it is from a country, because the country is still going to have problems being able to move that around if they have a lot of conflict, right? There's going to be an issue. So it's better to leave that technology, just like the Bank of International Settlement said, it's better to leave the setting up of infrastructures to the bank coin companies, in my humble opinion. I agree with the Bank of International Settlements on that. Let's continue here. It says, Maduro has offered to back Petro, which would have been their currency that they were going to back with oil, with the country's immense oil reserves. So there you have it. So the idea has already been attempted. This helps reduce currency default risk. So let's go here, right? I just want to show you this. All right. So we're going to end off with this here. I wanted to show you this because I mentioned Koi banks in correlation with Algorand being deep in the MENA region because of oil. Now, we just went over Venezuela, who attempted to do such a thing at some point. I'm not sure when that was, but they attempted to create a cryptocurrency that they were going to back with oil. They were going to peg to the value of oil or something of that nature, right? You can look it up for yourself. Now, Koi banks builds on Algorand and pushes Algorand as an infrastructure everywhere. They've done a fantastic job both in Latin America and as well as Africa. We just were talking about Venezuela. Their projects didn't go so well. I want to tell you a very important little tidbit about Tulio Nunez of Koi Banks. You can go to koibanks.com, KOIBANX.com right now and take a look for yourself underneath executive team, Tulio Nunez. It says here, Tulio Nunez, head of legal and compliance, lawyer in 2 countries, compliance officer in 3 countries. Oh, that's very good. Very accomplished, sir. Plus 5 years in crypto. That's also good. AML expert, previously worked at Venezuela Supreme Court. Previously worked at Venezuela Supreme Court. So we have skin in the game. We have skin in the game. We have a Venezuela connection that was a part of their Supreme Court. You think that Tulio Nunez doesn't have connections? Do you think that Koi Banks, who knows that Tulio Nunez was on the Supreme Court of Venezuela, you believe that they're not looking at Venezuela, licking their lips like, we're about to gobble you up. We're about to snatch that money off the table. We have what you need. We have infrastructures in Africa. We have infrastructures in all over South and Central America. And we know you need that. So you can create this currency that you wanted to back with oil. But I'm just using Venezuela as an example, as proof. because I firmly believe many countries around the world will be backing their currencies, not only with oil, with gold and any other commodity that they specialize in. I think that's more logical and fair than having everyone, just my humble opinion, I could be wrong, everyone back their currencies with gold. You can see they don't want to do that already. Venezuela was trying with oil. But then I think that's more fair than having everyone back their currencies with gold, where they have to actually go to another country. They still have to go to another country, not go there, but, deal with another country in order to purchase gold from them, a resource that they don't control themselves. No. I know what I specialize in. I specialize in oil, or I specialize in gold. This is our big commodity, or wheat. All of these things are extremely important. It can always be changed later if you need to. But I think that that's more where the world will move in the future, especially with the tokenization of everything. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.